readings. This was meant to be an end of September reading for Pisces. That's what I started. I started doing end of the month readings for all the zodiac signs, but we only have like 3 days left in the month because I have slacked the fuck off. So it's going to be like an end of September reading, but also like whatever message you need to hear as we close out September. Again, I'm sorry. I know we only have 3 days left, and probably by the time you're seeing this, it's 2 days. But we're just going to see if there are any messages that your guides want you to know as we're closing out this month. September has been kind of a big month with the energy because we've had 2 eclipses and pretty big eclipses. One eclipse was in Pisces, which is about surrender, which is about kind of looking at the reality of things versus what is, fantasy or fear. The Virgo new moon was the second new moon, and it was also an eclipse, and it was at 29 degrees. So it was like a new moon and a full moon mixed in one. It was like a new moon to release karma in order to kind of have a new beginning. So we're just going to see what this energy has done for you, because it probably has affected Pisces and Virgo more than anybody. So we're going to see what messages are wanting to come through for you. Anything your guides want you to be aware of as we're closing this month out. Keep in mind, these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you find that the reading doesn't resonate, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus placements, because sometimes those will resonate more. I do offer personal readings. You can get all that information in the description box. So Pisces. I'm getting like an instant message about writing. Like I almost feel like there's so much that you have going on internally. It's almost like there's all this energy just like compacted within you, and it needs some sort of outlet. Like you need some sort of outlet, and I feel the need to say like a healthy outlet. Like write it down, like get it all out, all of it. Your frustrations, your anger, if you're upset with somebody, write them a letter. You don't have to give it to them, just get it out. And I feel like it's like do 2 separate sheets of paper, right? Write all of your frustrations, all of your heavy emotions, like all of the bad stuff that you don't want anymore, and write it all down. All of it, and then burn that. And then all of these things that you want, that you feel that you haven't been able to receive, write those down on a separate piece of paper, but write it down as if you already have it. I am so grateful for the abundance in my life. I am so grateful that people are loving towards me. Like whatever it is that you want to receive, write that down on a separate sheet of paper, but write it as if you already have it. I am grateful for this. I am grateful for this. And hold on to that paper. But the paper that you wrote everything else down, just burn it. I feel like writing it down, like actually writing it down, not typing it out, would be better, because it's like it almost feels like actually putting it on paper is going to help you release it. And putting the desires on paper is going to help bring it into reality. What is that? What is that? I don't know if it's a kid's show. I don't know where I've seen this. But have you ever seen, like, I don't know what it is, but like the visual is like of a person's hand going down and writing. And then like everything like, oh shit, I wish I could remember what the fuck that was. But it's like all I can see is like the pen going down on the paper and like that. and it's something that happened in like every single episode of whatever the fuck this was. I think it was a kid's show. I don't know. Anyway, if anybody knows, let me know. Okay, so let us see, what are the messages that are wanting to come through for you? Oh, I like that. Whatever change you want to see in your reality, you have to change your internal beliefs about it first. A change in your consciousness is required, is necessary in order for you to see the change in your reality. So if you want to see more abundance in your life, you have to change your beliefs about abundance. If you believe that money is evil and that people that have money are greedy and evil and it's hard to get money and all of that stuff, that belief is going to be reflected out to you. We receive what we believe because that's where our focus is going to be, right? If we believe that relationships are difficult and people are always manipulative, you're always going to be able to find evidence of that, even if it's not true, right? If you believe that, if you have a belief that you always get fucked over and people are always gonna hurt you, then somebody could be the kindest and most loving person to you, and you would find something wrong with that, right? Because it doesn't match your beliefs, right? So whatever change that you are wanting to see in your reality, you have to change your beliefs about it first. You're also getting Archangel Uriel. Archangel Uriel is the Archangel of wisdom. And when I worked with Archangel Michael, it was in a way like that I had been going through like a lot of repetitive cycles. And I started working with Archangel Michael because what I learned was, if you keep repeating the same cycle, it's because it's a lesson that you're needing to learn. And not a lesson in terms of, I always get fucked over, so I have to start like not fucking with people, right? It's not like that, right? But it's like really looking internally and asking, what is this teaching me about myself, right? I always found myself in situations where I would give and give and give and give and give and just feel like I was consistently being depleted and nothing ever came back to me. But what I was being shown was, you don't have to give 10 times your energy just to receive something. You just have to be able to be yourself, right? So if there's something that you have felt stuck by or you've struggled with, if you feel comfortable with it, like pray to Archangel Uriel to help you see the wisdom, help you see the truth in what this cycle is or what this situation is. I feel like you might be continuing to choose a path or make certain choices because you feel like that's your only option. Or because that's what you've always done. But it's kind of like this energy, like if this has not been working for you, like why have you continued to do it this way if it has not been working for you? Is it a self-sabotage thing more than anything? And I know we hate to kind of see that in ourselves, and I'm not trying to say that there's something wrong with you. Like I've been there too. Like I noticed that I used to sabotage a lot. just like without even realizing. It's like a very subconscious thing. I also feel like when you're in survival mode, or when your energy is lower, you're not likely to see any other options. You feel like you are stuck. You feel like everything is happening to you. You become very reactive to everything around you. And so it's like you feel stuck and you feel like you have no other options, because that's the energy that you're sitting in. When your energy is lower, it's like it's really crammed in and it's really compacted. And so think of it as like you're just kind of crammed into this room with a bunch of people, right? You're not going to see a lot of options because there's so much shit crammed around you, right? So it would benefit if you could kind of rise above, and then you'd see, right? And so take some time to do what you can do to kind of raise your energy. And things that you can do to raise your energy is taking time to pray, taking time to meditate, honoring your body, like taking care of your body, drinking water, getting out in nature, singing, dancing, anything. It doesn't have to be big major things, but try to keep doing little things throughout the day that are going to elevate your energy, because the more that your energy is elevated, the easier it is for you to kind of see solutions, for you to even receive, because you can't receive abundance if you're trapped in fear. You can't receive love if you believe that love is going to hurt you. You can't receive, I don't know what I was going to say. I lost train of thought. You can't receive love if you feel like love has to break down a wall to get to you, or that you have to break down other people's walls to show them what love is. I feel you're definitely going through like some pretty crazy shit right now. For some of you, I feel like there's been a lot of chaos. The elephant kind of comes in and just like tramples everything, right? It just brings in a lot of chaos. But the elephant has a purpose, right? The elephant is only coming in to kind of get rid of the obstacles. It's coming in to destroy things, because those things need to be destroyed, because those things are the very things that are blocking you from what it is that you really want. And so I feel like you're instinctively like, oh my God, what's going on? And you're instinctively like trying to fix everything, or you're trying to bring everything back to normal. But what you need to know is this chaos that is happening, it's stirring everything up so you can see a truth that you have been kind of ignoring. This is like a beautiful transition for you. This is meant to kind of open you up to receive more abundance, to receive more love. You are in the midst of an insane change. You're in the cocoon, right? So it looks all dark and it looks all mushy. There's a need to annihilate everything that does not serve you. Like anything that does not fit, that anything that is blocking you from being able. You're Pisces. You need to be able to be soft. You need to be able to feel at peace. You're an energy of flowing, right? You're a fish. You don't want to be in a big, huge, chaotic environment, right? That's what you need. You need to be able to be comfortable in your emotional world. That's the core of who you are. Like even if you're a very masculine Pisces, you can be masculine, but because you're a Pisces, like you can be strong, right? And in all honesty, being able to be vulnerable in your emotions and be okay with that is a sign of strength, but that's neither here nor there, right? But at your core, you are an emotional, sensitive being. And if you're constantly feeling like you have to protect that or hide that, or you can't comfortably sit in that, you can't show other people that, then you will never feel you will never feel like yourself. You'll always feel isolated. You'll always feel like people don't get you, because if you can't be who you are at your core, then you'll always feel like you're in survival mode. All right, let's see if we can get a little more details on this message. How is this showing up for you? You're showing up as Queen of Swords. And Queen of Swords is a good energy, but the Queen of Swords is like, I've been through fucking hell. I'm not going to take any shit, right? The Queen of Swords is going to speak her truth. The Queen of Swords is looking at things in a very logical perspective. This is not a bad energy to be in, but it's very disconnected from your heart center, because the Queen of Swords is like this because she's gained a lot of wisdom from all the pain that she's been through, right? And so she's looking at the world with kind of a jaded view. Again, it's not a bad energy, but you at your core are an intuitive being. You are an emotional being. You're more comfortable in your subconscious world. Yeah. Yeah, because what's crossing you is Two of Swords. Like, it's kind of like you're in a situation where you have some sort of choice to make, right? And you're looking at both sides, and you're looking at both options, and you can see good and bad in both options. And so it's like, I don't know what to do. Or it could even be that you're faced with some sort of decision where you feel like you're in a rock and a hard place. Like, no matter what decision you make, it's going to be fucking chaotic. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be messy. But you're not meant to look at this from a logical perspective. You're meant to kind of really look at this from an emotional perspective and what you need for your own emotional well-being. Yeah, your mind, your mind and your logical thinking are like trapping you. You're feeling completely stuck. I kind of feel like you made some decision to some sort of decision to like not deal with something. Like, you chose not to confront something, or you chose to pull yourself away from something because you knew that that's what you needed to give you peace of mind. But I kind of feel like whatever this is, like, it still has to be dealt with. I feel like it was necessary maybe for you to pull away from whatever this is, again, to give yourself peace of mind. And I feel like you kind of, I feel like initially it gave you peace of mind, but it's like, it's still not resolved. I also feel for some of you that your fear of confrontation, or you not wanting to deal with confrontation, is keeping you stuck. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, like I said, it might be like you're in a, like, no matter which way you go, there's going to be some level of difficulty involved. It's like you're going to have to deal with some sort of conflict. But the conflict is necessary so you can have relief. Because it's like you pulled yourself away from some sort of battle, but the battle is still going on internally because you don't have resolution. The purpose is the Three of Cups. This came out in the Aquarius reading. It's almost like you're avoiding connecting, but you kind of need connection. And obviously that doesn't mean connecting to people that are, draining or negative. Let me get one more on this. it's like, I feel like you have connections to people. Like, you have connections. You have, it's not like you're completely isolated, but it's like the connections that you have don't really give a sense of fulfillment. Or what you're connecting yourself to, it's good, but it doesn't give you that deep satisfaction. I feel like it's like you're in the space of like longing for something, longing for some sort of like happiness. I want to say this: if you feel like like the people that you are connecting to are like completely opposite of you, that is meant to teach you something. Like, if the people that you are connecting to are like all of a sudden like extremely aggressive, extremely competitive, extremely combative, what that is reflecting to you is that you're not being assertive enough. Because people are gonna match your energy, but not in the way that we think. Like, we think that people are gonna like match our energy in the exact same way, but a lot of times, especially in connections with other people, if our energy is not in balance, then the people that we connect to, their energy is going to be what is necessary to balance us out. And so if we have no boundaries at all, right? If we completely avoid conflict, if we don't assert ourselves, then the people that we are going to connect to, and even the people that we're going to feel comfortable with, oddly enough, are going to be the people that are the complete opposite, that are completely aggressive and completely controlling. And it's going to feel like it fits because it's what you need to balance yourself out, right? Or to balance the energy within that connection. So if you want more peace and harmony and flow, then you have to kind of notice like the extreme behaviors around you are showing you like what you're kind of lacking within yourself. So like I said, like if you're connecting to a lot of people who are, I went through this period where like everybody I connected to was just like an emotional fucking basket case, and I was like, what is going on? But then I realized that I had like just kind of disconnected from my own emotions so much that I was just like very logical, and that's what the other, like everybody I was connecting to was kind of showing to me, like I'm not emotional at all, and I need to connect to my emotions a little bit. I do feel that Pisces in general and Libras also tend to really have a lot of difficulty in relationships, in kind of like that balance. And this is no disrespect. But Pisces and Libra tend to be overgivers in connections. They tend to not assert themselves. They tend to avoid conflict to keep the peace. And I feel like that's kind of what you're being shown right now, is like you feel like you make a lot of sacrifices for other people and you don't get a lot in return. But I feel like you make a lot of sacrifices because you don't want to be confrontational, you don't want to be assertive, but and because you feel like that's not a good energy to be in, it's not a positive energy to be in. Why would somebody want to assert themselves with the potential to create chaos? But you don't have a problem when other people are doing that to you, right? So assertion is necessary to some degree. Yeah, your guidance is 3 of Swords and 3 of Pentacles. Are the connections that you have supporting your growth, or are they making you feel restricted? And are these connections, the connections that are making you feel restricted, is it possible that a lot of what you're dealing with is because you're not asserting yourself? For some of you, I feel like there's a lot of like third party energy here. So it might be that you're dealing with like a choice between two people, or you're dealing with somebody that is dealing with another person. And so I feel like you have a choice to make. And it's kind of like, no matter which way I turn, there's going to be conflict. And you're right, there's going to be conflict. And I feel like even if you don't make a choice, I feel like it's going to be even more conflict, because I feel like it's just kind of eating you up. And so it's like, even though this is going to be a painful decision, I also feel like it's kind of a necessary decision. Because what you're not seeing is the world. You're closing out a lot of big cycles. You're closing out a lot of big cycles. I feel like if you really looked at the bigger picture of this, of everything that you're dealing with, and I feel like that's why Archangel Uriel came up, like, what is this teaching me about myself? This is a routine that you've been in for a long time, and I feel like it's a matter of looking at what is working and what is not working. Something that I noticed, which I thought was really interesting, when I first started doing readings professionally, I did a lot of twin flame readings, okay? And a lot of twin flame readings were, you had this person over here who was in love with this person over here, but this person over here had a relationship with this person over here, right? And this person thought that the relationship this person was in was because this person was manipulating them and they were stuck, right? So this person is giving this person all of this love and attention, and they're not getting anything back in return because this person is dealing with two different people, right? But what I would notice about this person over here is this person over here was giving all of this energy to this person and not getting anything back in return, and treating this person the same way. And it was like this crazy loop that I noticed. I also even noticed with clients that 10 years ago, they found themselves in a situation where they got cheated on, right? And then 10 years later, they're in a relationship and they ended up being the ones cheating on that person. And then a couple years later, they ended up being the third party, right? And what it made me realize is it's a cycle, it's a pattern, but there's something to learn in that, right? One person was giving too much. One person was not giving enough. One person was being overly emotional. One person was being very restrictive. But if you look, when I would look at the big picture of all of it, like it would all fit together. Like this person is only giving this much energy over here because they don't have the energy to give because they're giving it over here. You know what I mean? And anyway, my point is, look at the bigger picture of things. For some of you, I feel like you need to look back either over the last 8 months or over even the last 8 years, depending on how long you feel like you've been struggling with this energy, and look at like what is working and what is not working. I've been in this relationship for 8 years, and I always try to be kind. I always try to be considerate. I don't push this person. I'm not mean to this person, but nothing has changed. Then stop being so nice. And I'm not trying to sound shitty, but like logically you would think that being a kind person should work, right? But if you're being a kind person to somebody who doesn't value kindness, then you're giving that kindness to the wrong person. So that would work with the right person, but it's not working here. So this is not working, so I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't mean to sound like I'm talking down. Like, I feel like that's how I'm coming across, and I'm not trying to sound like that. Like, I had to do this myself. It's like, I feel like you're carrying so much weight because you keep trying to do things the right way, or you keep trying to just push past this. And I do feel, by the way, that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. You're on the verge of being in the energy to receive what you want. And I feel like you're in the space where you're desperately wanting a change. And I feel like you're not going to get it. You're not really going to get anywhere by kind of outwardly, but like really focusing inward and saying, what is this teaching me? Like, what is this teaching me about what I'm giving and what I'm receiving? What is this? You get what I'm saying. I love you guys. Bye-bye.